In today's mobility session, we're making sure that we're doing the movements nice and slow and controlled, taking your time to perfect the moves in your own time. When you need to, pausing the video and trying to perfect the moves. First of all, we're looking at mobilising the ankle joint. So the feet are flat, the toes pointing behind you. You're rocking back and forward, and you're going onto your toes. Small bounces, and then straightening the toes back out, and leaning back and feeling the stretch in the quads. Going back onto the toes, small bounces, feeling the stretch in the toes and the ankles, and going up onto your toes. And to keep your balance, you can put your hands on the floor to keep your balance if needed. Going back. Balancing on your toes, this time reaching over, right hand reaches to the left hand side and the left hand reaches over to the right hand side. Making sure the movements are nice and slow and controlled. This time we're in the hand-knee position and we're protracting and retracting the shoulder blades. Slow controlled motion. Now this time in a press-up position, rocking back and forward, engaging the core, going onto your toes and then going back. Keeping the arms straight, rocking side to side this time. Now protracting and retracting the shoulder blades in a press-up position. Squeezing the shoulder blades together and then relaxing. Stretching the quads. Now in the knee hand position again, now we're looking at mobilising the shoulder joint. Hand goes up, around, rotation, so you palm of your hands pointing up towards the ceiling and rotating it back in. Full range of motion. Making sure there's a full range of movement through the shoulder joint. And then swapping arms. Trying to keep the shoulders in line, making movements slow and controlled. Hand knee position to start with, then doing Supermans, and then bringing the knee and the elbow touching, and then extending your leg and your arm out. Keeping your balance. Trying to only move the back leg and the arm. So alternative hand and foot. So left hand and right foot, and then right hand and left foot. 2 forward and 2 back. Now this time hands go together and your feet apart, and then your feet go apart and your hands go together. The side crawl. Knees just hovering over the floor. Pelvic bridge. And twisting over reaching with your right arm over towards your left hand side and extending your leg out at the same time, making sure the hips are up. For hip mobility, this exercise, pivoting from side to side with your knees, finishing at 90 degrees. Now this time your back leg goes straight out in front and then the other leg goes behind. Using momentum of your body and your leg to move in different directions. So you can alter from the 90-degree mobility with the knees, or you can bring your leg out in front. This time, a variation is trying to do it with no hands on the floor. Slow and controlled actions. You have to engage your core to keep your body upright. Slowly bringing the leg out in front. You can put your hands on the floor to give yourself momentum to change direction. Spinning round onto your front. Your back leg twists over and taps on the other side. And spinning back into hip mobility exercise. Have fun playing around with the different movements. This time pushing through. Pivot round, push through. And step over. Pivot round, push through, step over. Now this time into a squat, and back into reverse, pivot round, push through, step over, into a squat. Pivot round, push through, step over, squat, reverse lunge. Making sure to do the movements nice and slow. Pausing the video, taking your time to perfect the movements before moving on to the next stage.